Bolivar. That was exaggerated. To our car, and we were turning right down this like alley, and these guys were like turning around the corner in their car, and they hollered at my friend, and they were like, "Hey, how you doing?" And she's like this little social butterfly, so she was like, "Good," and we like kept walking. Yeah, and I was like, "No, bro, like go, like you gotta get to the car, like go." And then, cause I'm not nice, I'm not friendly.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not.
Not especially not to people catcalling.
Yeah, like I'm.
Curse
yeah.
off them bitches.
So yeah, so we turn around the corner, and then we're walking down this alley towards our car, and I was walking in the road because my feet really hurt, and the sidewalk was like really lumpy, and so I was walking in the road, and I remember my friend Sharia. So it was me, Sharia, and Lorena, the three of us. Lorena broke her foot at the venue.
Damn.
Because she was dancing, yeah, and some guy was dancing and like stepped on her, and she lifted her foot when he stepped down on her foot, and it like broke her foot.
Oh.
Like yeah, and so she was like limping towards the car.
Did she not know it was broken?
She didn't know it was broken until we got home. But so I was walking on the road, and Sherry grabbed me and like pulled me onto the sidewalk, and I looked up, and a car was like coming at us with their headlights off, and like pulled up, and it was the guys that had catcalled us, and they were like, "What are you guys doing tonight? Like, what's the move? Da 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 da." And me and Sherry were like, "Bro, no!" Like I was like, "No, leave us alone." And Lorena was walking behind us, and she was like, "Guys, let's just go." And Sherry was like, "Fuck you! You don't pull up on girls with your headlights off. Fuck that!" And like grabbed this sign and tried to throw it at him.
You grabbed this sign?
No, Sheree did. So Sheree's
yeah.
grabbing this sign, yeah, and like trying to throw it at their car, and thank God it was attached to this pole. And so I started like giggling because I was like, I'm stinky, I know.
Hey.
So I was like giggling, and I was like, Sharia, like the sign's attached to this pole, like you like stop, dude. And I was like trying to get her, and I was like, stop, like it's attached. And Lorena was like, you guys, we gotta go, like get the book. And the guy gets out of his driver's seat, and he's like, fuck you, you hit my car. And Sheree was like, I didn't fucking touch your car, bro. And I was like, bro, she didn't hit your fucking car, like screaming all this. And this guy's like, fuck you bitches, fuck you. I'm just trying to fucking compliment you guys. And he like bum rushes Sharia. And so I jump in front of Sharia, and I put my arm on him, and I grab his shirt, and he was like 6-something. And I grabbed his shirt, and I was like shoving him back, and I was like, bro, back the fuck up, get the fuck off of her. And he grabbed my arms, he grabbed both of my arms and like shoved me up against this building and like smacked my whole body against this building. And he was like, fuck you, I'm just trying to fucking compliment you guys, like take a fucking compliment. And I was like, bro, get the fuck off of me, like get off of me. And she like kind of shoved him from the side, and we all started like walking back to our car. But when he was holding me, I had his shirt still in my hand, and there was blood all over his shirt and all over my arm and on his face. And like I remember thinking like, why is he bleeding? But I was like, you know, screaming profanities at him. Fuck that man. I was like, fuck you. Like, I can fight you right now. I'll do it right now. And then, so there was blood all over me. And so we get to the car, we're like backing up to the car. And so I'm like, I'm going to fucking kill these guys. Like, I have a bat in my trunk right now. I got a taser in my purse. So I start walking toward my car. And Lorena's like, no, don't go toward the car. They're going to know the car. And I was like, yeah, they're going to know my fucking car. Like, as soon as I hit them with it. And she was like, no, like, go around this corner. And I was like, and Sherry's like, bro, come around the corner.
Lexi.
And so they, like, we go and hide around this corner in the parking structure, and Lorena's like up against the wall, like crouched, like hiding, and Sharea's like pacing against the wall, and I crouched like this in the middle of the parking structure, because I was like, if they come around the fucking corner, like, I'm gonna get their, fuck their shit, I swear to God, because I'm big.
You took Kung Fu or what?
Yeah, I did. And like I see some headlights, but like nobody's coming, and they're like, is it good, is it clear? And I was like, I don't know, I see headlights. So I get up and I like walk over, and it's the parking lot attendant had pulled in back to his like post. And so I walked up to him and I was like, hey, some guys were attacking us outside, can you drive us to the freeway? And he was like, yeah, you're safe, like you're safe now, everything's okay. And I just started like sobbing, like just mad.
The big tough girl was just like, okay, I got that.
Yeah, like, yeah, he said, he was like, you're safe now, and I was just like,
Gone.
Yeah, and then we got in the car, and he followed us to the freeway, and I was like shaking, and there was blood all over me, and I was like, what the fuck's going on? And then I was on the freeway, and I was in the fast lane, and I was going like 75, and there was a car in like the off lane going the same speed as me, like he was keeping up with me, because I saw him like in front of me, and he just took off the side of the freeway. Like,
There's
no
the cat.
exit, nothing. Yeah, I said hi. So he takes off the side of the freeway, and I looked at Sherry, and I was like, Sherry, is this real? Like, is this really happening? And she was like, yes, this is all real. We need to call 911. And I was like, And I just kept asking, like, is this real? Like, is everything real? And she was like, yes, it's all real. And I was like, what? And Lorena was calling 911 in the back seat. She was like, yo, there was an accident. They just, like, took off the side of the freeway by exit da-da-da. And, like, because the car, like, its taillights were there, and then they just weren't anymore. And then it was just, like, a cloud of smoke. And I was like,
Wow.
yeah. And I was like, this isn't, like, real. Like, I'm having a whole panic attack. So I pulled over. I was like, y'all, I got to take the next exit. Pull off the freeway. Lorena's like, this isn't our exit. I was like, I know it's not our exit, bitch. Like, I'm gonna have a mental breakdown. So I pull over and I got out of the car and I walked 10 feet and then I just started like scream crying. And then Sheree was like, there. And then we get back in the car and we go home and it was like the quietest drive home ever. Nobody talked. We all like took off our makeup at the house and we were like, what the hell just happened? And then the next day, Sheree found a post and that guy, the reason that there was blood on him was because at 2:30 in the morning, so 30 minutes before we saw him, he beat some chick almost to death in a parking structure, like 2 blocks down from where we were. Like smashed her face and like completely crushed her nose. Yeah. And so it wasn't his blood, it was her blood that was all over him and all over me.
Dude, psychotic.
Yeah, and so like, because at first I was like, sure, like, you can't be throwing signs at bros in fucking Hollywood, like you're gonna, but I mean, I think if she hadn't made that commotion, like, they would have hurt us more. But the other chick got like recordings of them and recordings of their license plates, so we had to file a police report and they got arrested. And she's okay, she's at home, her face is never gonna look the same, but she's alive. And so are we.
Holy shit.
And that's the time I got jumped in Hollywood and thought I could fight a 6'7" man. I was like, get the fuck off of her! And he was like, yeah, and I was like,